Hi and welcome to another edition of How to Sing That Song. Today I want to talk about Adele's When We Were Young, so please stay tuned. Alright, let's jump right into it. This song is awesome to practice your low and high registers. Having said that, we don't want to really go into head voice. We want to really stay more chesty. Now the secret is to sing the low parts very, very, very relaxed so it doesn't sound low. You don't want to start out, everybody loves the things you do, from the way you talk to the way you move. I can't even go down there anymore. You want to stay very relaxed. So you want to stay very little vibrato. If you do have a natural vibrato, very little, very little. Everybody loves the things you do, from the way you talk to the way you move. See how I'm moving very closely to the mic and I'm hardly touching that low pitch. To the way you move. Otherwise, I can't even get that. That's an E flat. That is pretty darn low. For me anyway, for the average female voice. If you're a guy wanting to sing this, it works too, but you will probably have to transpose it. But let's talk about the original key, which is C minor or E flat major. So low notes, very relaxed. Let's go on. Everybody here is watching you, 'cause you feel like home, you're like a dream come true. You want to have a lot of emotion in there, and you get that by first of all connecting your breath and the sound of your breath. You want to have a lot of support, and what that does is it allows you to use your breath flow in a way that it expresses your emotion without you letting go of your support. So you don't want to go, everybody here is watching you. So I'm letting go of my support. But instead, I'm almost thinking of implosion. Everybody here is watching you, 'cause you feel like home. You're like a dream come true. You want to really pay attention to intonation, and here, don't yet climax too much, because we got a lot to go until we really reach the climax. So don't get too intensive yet. It needs to be very connected. When I talk about connected, I always talk about your pitch never stops. You almost want to think of the words of being one single long word. It's not everybody here is watching you, but it's everybody here is watching you, 'cause you feel like home, you're like a dream come true. See how that's like almost one long word, okay? And if by chance you're here alone, can I have a moment before I go? Again, hardly touch that pitch. For me, it's like I hardly can even sing that pitch anymore, but I can if I just back off a lot. I can even do some ad-libs. Don't push too much. Very important. 'Cause I've been by myself all night long, hoping you're someone I used to know. And what you want to do on the no, it's almost like a gift from the composer. No, it's a very nice and open vowel, and you want to make it very nice and open, meaning don't open your mouth a lot. It's not no, but it's more like make it a very round shape and look for that sweet spot. You know, there's a sweet spot where there's the best sound and the most resonance in the tone. So it wouldn't be no, 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 no. There is the point of the best resonance. I always call it the sweet spot. No. And I get it by just really letting my jaw drop very naturally, not opening up actively, but just like kind of very round space, and think of an ah sound. No. Now it connects. You want to go forward. You don't want to be static on that long pitch. You don't want to, no. You already know what to look forward to. You are already anticipating what's going to happen next. And there's a motion, a movement. And so you want to move forward to know. You look like a movie. You sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. Okay, let's talk about this. You want to make very straight tones most of the time and let the vibrato in afterwards a little bit. So don't start the vibrato right away on the pitch. Song, my God, this reminds me of how when we were young. I can't even hardly do it. Also, the ending. Did you notice how I'm not holding on to the end all the time? My God, this reminds me of her. Ooh, it's too much wobbliness. Wobbliness, is that a word? I don't know. But just really make sure that you listen to the original phrasing and that it makes sense. It almost needs to be like speech. We're young. Now comes the high part. And what I recommend is before you even sing it, speak it through, kind of marking and imitating where it goes up and down. Let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized. See how that goes? Make sure you have that very long line and it keeps moving forward. It has a motion. It's like almost you want to go somewhere and you see your goal back there and you're like, this is your finish line and you want to go there. But you never really get to the finish line unless until the end of the very song. So you want to really imitate that to where your placement of your voice doesn't get too darkened or something, because the tendency is to push down the larynx, and a lot of singers will do this here. Let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like. It gives you a quick result by having a very full sound, and it may feel a little easier to sing it right away. But what I always notice is if I do that for a longer time, it really gives me some scratchiness in my throat, and it's not a very healthy way to sing. Also, it's not the prettiest, actually. It has a full sound, but it's not exactly my natural sound. It's a little bit weird. Exaggerating now, but like, try to keep a pretty neutral larynx. Just use it a little bit, okay? Let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized. You want to make sure that you stay in chest voice, don't slip into head voice. Otherwise, let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized. See, when I stay in head voice on those high notes, you could do that, but it's not exactly sounding right, because Adele doesn't do that, and in popular music, that's not the sound. It needs a kind of a thicker, richer sound, which only happens if you don't break into head voice. And here, it's a B flat there on the top. So it's high, but it's not undoably high. You can do it. So let's go on. Very important that you still keep that direction in your mind. We were sad of getting old. It made us restless. It was just like a movie. And here it changes gears again. It made us restless. More power. And then you take a breath, connect. It was just like a movie. It was just like a song. And the second verse. I was so scared to face, and then so on. I'm not going to go through that, through the whole thing. Let me talk about this middle part. There's a chorus, actually, that comes, a chorus as in a choir background. Since we're not going to have that if you sing it unplugged, like I'm doing it right now, I would just sing that. When we were young, when we were young, and so on. You want to sing the chorus, and you could even improvise a little bit. When we were young, when we were young. Now comes the bridge, and the bridge is almost like the total climax here before the chorus comes back in there. You want to really be, you want to have a sense of urgency here. Move forward, be very chesty, be strong. Don't push your larynx down though, or up, or push it in any direction. Try to kind of have maybe a little darker color here, but not to where you push it very extremely, okay? So, oh, it's hard to admit that everything just takes me back to where you were there, to where you were there. Just messed that up, but let's go on. And a part of me keeps holding on to just in case it hasn't gone. I guess I still care. Switch. Do you still care? But you want to really have the sense of as if you were making it up on the way, because here it's not very metrical. It's like very, oh, it's hard to admit that everything just takes me back to when you were there, to when you were there. And a part of me keeps holding on to just in case it hasn't gone. I guess I still care. Do you still care? It was just like a movie. It was just like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. Let me photograph you in this light. So you want to really push forward here. You want to push forward and be desperate. You want to be really desperate. It's like, it was just like a movie, reminiscence. It was just like a song. And now if you say, my God, this reminds me of when we were young, you wouldn't go, my God, this reminds me. It's not about being pretty. It's like, my God, this reminds me of when we were young. Give that high pitch a reason. There needs to be a motivation. Why are you singing the high pitch? It's because it's urgent. It's because it's so important to you. Young, when we were young. And here comes the backing chorus again, but you could either hold the where we were young. When we were young. You could do something like that, or you go right into the when we were young. Comes again. In case it is the last time that we might urgent be exactly like we were before we realized we were sad of getting old. It made us restless. Now it repeats. Oh, I'm so mad. I'm getting old. It makes me restless. It was just like a movie. It was just like a song. You want to make sure you always have a sense of connection. You don't just want to sing pitches. You want to really communicate. And it's like, oh, I'm so mad. I'm getting old. It makes me reckless. And just breathe wherever it makes sense to you, phrasing-wise. I hope this lesson helped you today. Hope you're going to be back next time. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not. I come out with videos every week, and don't forget to, after subscribing, to click on that little bell symbol there, because then you will be notified in your feed that new videos came out on my channel. Otherwise, you may not be notified and then you don't catch all the videos. Thank you for watching. I hope you can be back next week. And until then, don't forget, always keep a song in your heart and always keep on singing. Bye.